An Englishman, Irishman, Scotsman walk into a bar and there's a lamp, a magical lamp on the table, and the Englishman rubs it, and the Irishman rubs it, and the Scotsman rubs it, and a genie comes out of the lamp, and the genie says, "Greetings, I am the genie of the lamp. You freed me from my incarceration, and I'd like to grant you each a wish, because that's what I do." And the Englishman says, I will be going first. What I'm looking for is, I often have a problem when I drop small objects onto the floor, and I've got quite a stiff back, and my knees aren't what they used to be. And I'd like some kind of device, like a claw, like with a trigger, with some kind of mechanism, so that I can pick up objects that I've dropped on the floor. And the genie looks at the Englishman, and then turns to the Scotsman, and he says, "What can I do for you, Scotsman?" And the Scotsman says, "Well, my particular problem, what I really like, is I got this Mercedes, and when I bought it, it had like conventional wheels, and I bought 4 alloys for it, but the spare wheel isn't an alloy and has different bolts, and what I'd really like is an alloy wheel with some matching bolts." And the genie just looks at the Scotsman with a look of magical exasperation, and says to the Irishman, and says to the Irishman, "Well, what can I get you?" And the Irishman says, "Well, what really is irritating me is the fact that my phone is connected to my wall by a wire. What I'm looking for is some method of transporting my phone, perhaps shrinking it down and then transporting it around with me." The genie says, "Yeah, but the thing about all these things is they're not appropriate wishes for a genie, because I'm a magical force. I can grant you anything you want, and what you have wished for are things that you can buy in a shop. My wishes are supposed to be imbued with sort of, satirical or moral or humorous import. They're supposed to have some kind of consequence. I know you've ruined it. You've ruined it. So what I want you to do is I want you to wish again." And the Englishman, he's really taking it seriously this time. He says, "Yeah, the issue that I have, genie, what I would really like, really putting my mind to it, is in my house, I have got, in my walls, there are spaces in my walls that I can see out of. So I'm inside, but I can see through the holes into the outside. But the problem with the holes is, although I like looking at the outside, the problem is they let the weather from the outside inside the house. So what I'm looking for is some kind of method of, blocking up the windows, but I can still see through them. Perhaps by, some kind of technology that allows some kind of transparent thing in the holes." And the genie, "Your wish is my command," and lo and behold, the Englishman's wishes come true. And the genie turns to the Scotsman, and his hopes are not high. And the Scotsman says, well, Mr. Genie, the thing that really, apart from the alloy wheels, the thing that really consumes me is the fact that I like bread. I like eating bread, and I like drinking milk, and I would like some way to combine the two things. Now, what I've tried to do is I've tried to pour milk onto my bread, but that makes the milk, that ruins the taste of the milk, and it makes the bread all soggy. So what I'm looking for is some method by which I can turn the milk into and the genie's fairly sure he knows where this is going. The genie says, You're looking for a way to convert the milk into like a spreadable solid. Is that it? Yes, it is. Like ice cream, for example. Like ice cream, but not sweet. Says the Scotsman, "I don't want it to be sweet. It's got to be like ice cream that I can spread on my bread, but not sweet, like a savoury thing." And the genie thinks about it, and being magical, and he grants his wish, and the Scotsman gets he gets what he wishes for, and he turns to the Irishman. And the Irishman says, "Yeah, well, the thing that really that really vexes me is this notion of all the women that I know, most of the women that I know, they have this issue in which they bleed from their vaginas on a almost on a regular, almost like a monthly basis. It's like they're caught in some kind of cycle of bleeding. And I've noticed this, and I was wondering if perhaps if there's some method by which, I don't know, some kind of cork, perhaps some method by which they could sort of stem or plug or make less inconvenient this sort of monthly bleeding, and the genie recognises the sincerity of the Irishman's wish, and he grants that too, and they all live happily ever after, and the genie is free to go visiting other cultural stereotypes, granting fantastic wishes.